Hi, my name is Katja Brundiers. I'm the co-lead of the Transformational Sustainability Science Group at the University of Freiburg. Welcome to the Evidence from the Field series. In the next video, we hear a story of an individual serving in dual role, both as a scientist and a project transdisciplinary interface manager for a transdisciplinary project in the sustainable food economy. The story will demonstrate one of the often overlooked but nevertheless highly important activities of the project Transdisciplinary Interface Manager during the project introduction phase. And that's the activity to ensure that attendees learn more about each other while using time well. Enjoy.
Hello, my name is Ramey. I am a sustainability researcher at a university in southern Germany, and today I want to share a story about my colleague's experience as a transdisciplinary researcher working on sustainability innovations in the food economy. In this role, they not only conducted scientific research to assess the efficacy of sustainability innovations, but they also served as something called a project transdisciplinary interface manager, or a pTIM. This meant coordinating project meetings, facilitating team building efforts, and basically keeping an eye on everything that's happening in the project. The story I want to tell you takes place very early in their career, during their first job after graduation as a research associate supporting transdisciplinary projects. As many of you may know from experience, graduate programs offer little formal training in transdisciplinary research. So when my colleagues stepped into this role as the pTIM, they were unfamiliar with its many demands. And as the title of this video suggests, this eventually led to them hosting an event without first doing their homework. Backing up, the goal of this project was to explore how international food value chains could support regionally produced organic meals sold in retail stores or serviced in canteens. The project brought together scientists from sustainability, economics, and psychology, alongside actors from all stages of the food value chain, including retailers, suppliers, vendors, municipal representatives, and funding institutions. The overarching aim was to drive systemic transformation across food production, processing, distribution, and consumption. So it was a really big project that brought together a lot of different kinds of people. It was very ambitious. Now, the core partners were divided into two major groups, which we know in transdisciplinary research. There's the academic researchers at the university, and then practice partners who were working in local and regional food policy. There was food retailers and also wholesalers. Again, my colleague was serving kind of in this dual position, this dual role as both a researcher and the pTIM. There was no dedicated transdisciplinary interface manager at the institutional level at that time. So it's really just on them. When they joined, the project was in its introduction phase, and as the pTIM, they were responsible for organizing the project kickoff meeting. This is a really big opportunity where you bring together all of your stakeholders and all of your partners and introduce them to each other and really start pushing the project forward. And organizationally, they did all the right things. They identified key invitees, they secured a venue, they scheduled an appropriate time for everybody, and they coordinated the meeting agenda. Unfortunately, there was one thing they didn't do, which really would have helped this meeting. They hadn't done enough research on the individuals and organizations who they invited, and they didn't brief the research team on the invited practice partners. And I know this might not seem like a big deal, but that background knowledge is actually essential. It's really important for facilitating introductions and briefing everybody on the prior discussions that have happened between the practice partners in this project. And it also helps everyone in the room already have a context to facilitate their exchange. So ideally, a pTIM should be the person in the room who has a really strong grasp of who the project partners are, what initiatives they're involved in, and what motivates their participation. And they should be briefing the rest of the team on this. But because that groundwork was missing, a significant portion of this kickoff meeting was really just spent getting everyone up to speed, especially the researchers. So the practice partners were feeling a little bit impatient, like they had to keep explaining who they were and what they were doing there. And the senior scientists had to step up and ask questions and facilitate the conversation rather than just focusing on being there as a researcher. So Okay, the introduction phase was a little bit shaky, the project moved forward, but that meeting really wasn't as productive as it could have been. So the lesson for my colleague here was that it's very important as the PTIM to streamline these crucial partner interactions so that everyone can quickly get to know who's at the table and what they're about, so that you can effectively leverage that time, that precious time, to focus on content. Not only does that improve efficiency, but it also demonstrates respect for your participants' time, and they will appreciate you for that. With that, thanks for listening. I hope this story encourages you to think about how you as a TI manager can support collaboration and sustainability research, even with just doing a little homework. Thank you and good luck in the rest of your training.
Thanks for passing along the story, Alex. In this video, we learned that the project Transdisciplinary Interface Manager should develop a strong understanding of their project partners before the initial kickoff meeting. This way, they can provide essential background information to all of the attendees ahead of the meeting and prevent that precious collaborative time from being spent mostly on general introductions. In the training, we will review activities to help you prepare for these kind of interactions. Until next time, ciao.